Victoria, but to get command of QM2 was a major achievement. And he was there in command until 2017. In recognition of his service to the industry, he was awarded the Merchant Navy Medal for Meritorious Service, and in 2016 became a Freeman of the City of London. Retirement beckoned, but he is still active within the industry, and talking to him earlier, he's as busy as he was when he was at sea. He conducts international port risk assessments and provides advanced skills training for those newer officers coming through. Throughout his career, Kevin has shown exceptional leadership and business management skills. You are not captain of a major cruise ship without having those in abundance, those two skills in abundance. And not only at sea, but within the maritime industry. And in recognition of his outstanding professionalism and commitment to the maritime industry, I conclude this citation by asking for the conferment of the award of the honorary degree of Doctor of Maritime Studies on Captain O'Prey.
Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, His Excellency, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here with you to share in today's excitement and sense of achievement. And I'd like to start by congratulating each and every one of you graduating this morning. This is a moment for you and for your families and friends to feel very proud and happy and hopeful for the future. I'm sure it's a wonderful feeling of satisfaction to get to this point, knowing that all your hard work and determination has finally paid off. It's also a great honor to be associated with Southampton Solent University in this way, and I'm very grateful to the university for this award. Having trained on many occasions at the School of Navigation at Warsash, now the Maritime Academy, I feel I have a strong connection to the university, and it's tremendous over the last few years to watch it grow from strength to strength. I've been particularly impressed by its focus on real-world solutions and its tremendous record in employment for its graduates, which shows what a very good job the university is doing. Things have, of course, changed since I was an officer cadet, sitting in the Warsash classroom, being taught celestial navigation and shown how to use a sextant. And if you don't know what a sextant is, it's a very small instrument that navigators once used to find their position by measuring the angle between the sun and the horizon. And I suspect if you handed a sextant to a young bridge officer of today, they may not know which way to hold it up. And that's simply because today we're all very dependent on satellite technology. Satellites tell us precisely where we are in the world, where we're going, and where every other ship in the world is at that precise moment. Now, ships have changed enormously since my training days. Then we used to admire the QE2 as she sailed down Southampton water. She was a very beautiful ship, just like Queen Mary 2, although I'm pretty biased, and to me, there's never been a ship as beautiful as my Queen Mary 2. They both had many similarities, being incredibly well-designed ocean liners, built specifically for life on the North Atlantic, and capable of withstanding the worst of Atlantic weather. However, advances in technology meant that technically they were worlds apart. The old QE2 started life as a steamship with 2 conventional propellers, whereas Queen Mary 2 is powered by 4 diesel engines supplemented by 2 gas turbines with propulsion provided by 4 podded propulsion units, each weighing 260 tons and suspended beneath the hull. And each of these pods contains an electric motor to drive forward-facing propellers that pull the ship through the water with a higher degree of efficiency and maneuverability. And old standalone navigation equipment and paper navigational charts have now been replaced by state-of-the-art integrated bridge systems, electronic charts and centralized control and monitoring capabilities, providing a high degree of reliability and safe navigation. And whilst technology on board is advancing at a great pace, what hasn't changed is that the wind still blows just as hard as it did when I was a cadet. The seas on the North Atlantic can still be as ferocious and formidable as ever, with waves sometimes as tall as this building. And if you didn't understand the principles of tides and ocean currents, you would soon get yourself into a great deal of trouble. And I guess that's what my training in Warsash was all about. It taught me the fundamental principles you need to understand how to command a ship at sea. It encouraged me to learn, to keep learning throughout my career, to develop new skills so that I was flexible and could adapt to the many changes in my professional world. And that seems to me the basis of what is a good education. And I know that's the philosophy here at Southampton Solent. The world is changing faster than ever, which for you means it's a very exciting time to be starting out on a new career. You'll see and do things that previous generations could not even have dreamed of. I have no doubt that as a graduate of Southampton Solent, you'll find that you have a huge advantage over others. And as you make your way into that world, you are well placed to seize the opportunities that will certainly come your way. A degree from such a good university is an enormous benefit, but so also are the skills and values that you will have learned here. The capacity to go on learning, to think for yourself, to find creative solutions to new problems, to be resilient and confident in yourself and your decisions, and above all, to be a good and reliable member of the team. Whatever it is you go on to do, I hope very much that you will do it to the best of your ability and that you will find it both rewarding and enjoyable. Thank you once again for inviting me to be part of your celebrations today. It's great to be here with you, graduates, and your graduation. Congratulations once again on your achievements, and I wish you all the very best for your futures.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I now have the very pleasant task of thanking you for your part in today's ceremony, of endorsing the Deputy Vice-Chancellor's best wishes to you and then closing the proceedings. It's a particularly poignant week for me because after 12 years as the Chancellor of this university, indeed the first Chancellor when it gained university status, this will be my last week of graduation ceremonies. I must say that's a very mixed feelings for me. It's rather sad because I think so highly of this university. And one of the reasons that I like it so much is its maritime sector. And there is no doubt, I've been in the Royal Navy now for 53 years. I'm a very old bastard. That the School of Warsash has got an incredible name around the world. I'm also president of the Merchant Navy Association, Master Mariner, involved with a lot of that, and there's no doubt Warsash is seen as a centre of excellence, and we've invested a huge amount in it recently, and it will go from strength to strength. And that's very important indeed, because shipping and the maritime are the sinews of our global village. Our global village is only a global village because of those maritime sinews. That whole area of maritime is extremely important. And one can see from the diversity of the people doing the courses how important it is seen around the world. And in Britain, we should be proud of it because we still run merchant global shipping from London with all of the services and all of the things required. And we should be proud of that. And the other factor is that engineers are in short supply globally and particularly in the UK. So any of you qualifying in that area, thank goodness, because we need more people getting properly qualified in that area. When it comes to yacht design, I've been a member of the Royal Yacht Squadron for some 35 years and involved in yachting. And again, our course is seen as probably the best course in the world. And you only need to look at what some of the people coming out of that course have done to realize what an incredibly high standard it is. So something that I'm very, very proud of. As I say, I'll be going from here, but I'll have great pride in that as it continues. Now, this is clearly a very special moment for all of you. I hope you'll remember this for many years to come today. We hope you'll recall your time at the university with fondness and pride, and that you'll carry with you the creativity and energy for which this university is really so well known and is becoming even more well known. All of us will leave with mixed and vivid memories of the last hour or so. It's important for everyone. I'm very lucky in that I get a chance to meet everyone who's graduating and say a couple of words. I can't speak for longer, or I get told off by the staff for making the thing go on too long. But they achieved something, are proud of what they've achieved, enjoyed their course, and are looking to the future. It's very good. And in this, really rather difficult and chaotic world at the moment, when you look around, it's pretty awful, isn't it? I mean, Brexit is in complete turmoil. I give up on that sometimes. We've got a NATO conference. We've got Trump meeting Putin. You couldn't make it up, really, could you? It reminds me of the pessimist-optimist thing. The pessimist sort of says, things just couldn't get worse. And the optimist says, they bloody well could. It's a bit like that, I think, sometimes. And so we'll all have different thoughts. Lots of youngsters coming up. Some of you maybe not so young, not old bastards like me, but still not quite so young. Looking at a very exciting, successful future, which is fantastic. I, of course, over the 12 years, have shaken hands with thousands of people getting their degrees. I always like to keep a little tick of various things that might have happened. You are actually a very well-behaved bunch. Only 3 of you were chewing gum. That's unusual. Quite often we find more than that. If someone chews it too ostensibly, I have to remark on it. And I said to one young man one year, I said, you're chewing gum, aren't you? He said, yes, Chancellor. And I said, I don't think your parents would be very pleased about that. And he said, I thought I was meant to enjoy myself today. So I have to be careful now what I actually say. And also, none of you actually said cheers, mate, to me, which does quite often happen. And yesterday I had a new one because I obviously wish people well in the future. And I say, I wish you well for your future. And a chap said, no, I wish you well in your future as well, mate. And when you're my age, that's actually quite exciting, that I've got a future. So I was rather pleased about that. But success, in the general atmosphere of success today, we shouldn't forget actually the very hard work, perseverance, and in many cases sacrifices that you've all put in to be here today. Many of you, I think, will have achieved things that wouldn't have seemed possible when you started your studies. There's no doubt that being a student today is very challenging. It's not easy. There's funding, there are other pressures. It makes it very, very difficult indeed. And the mature students as well, there's some of the mature students there, they have to take time out and do this. It's hard. You've all survived and flourished. And in addition to the academic achievement, I hope you'll have learned something about living and working with other people from very different backgrounds. And as I've said, the ethnicity and different mixes and different countries in Southampton Solent is quite incredible. It's really, really good news because that is what our global village is about. That is what our world is about. It's so important. Also, I know a lot of you will have learned about self-discipline. Self-discipline is crucially important. You all think, oh, there's the Navy, their discipline is just shouting at someone and he does what he's told. But self-discipline is actually a very important thing, and I think you'll have learned those lessons. And I hope you've learned a bit about partying as well. It'd be very sad if you hadn't, because if you don't enjoy life, then what's the point? Now you can enjoy the success your efforts and ability have earned you. And let me be actually the first really to greet you, having qualified as graduates and graduates. Very well done, all of you. Very well done. there's another group of people I think we should celebrate today, and of course I mean your families, friends, loved ones, all of whom have played a vital part in your success. They have offered encouragement, support, love, an unstinting expenditure of time, effort, and often money. They've watched anxiously while you flew the nest, come to visit you in shared kitchens of unspeakable squalor, and tried to look happy as you turned up unannounced at weekends with container loads of dirty laundry. And I think the least that all of us can do is thank them for their part in our success. Thank you. And on your behalf, I also want to thank the university staff for making all of this happen, and for all of their skills, support, and most especially for their excellent teaching. And as it is excellent teaching, one never forgets a good teacher. And this is particularly true for students in higher education. And here on this stage, and in the university in general, we have a group of teaching staff who are outstanding in their commitment, their care, and their dedication. They have played an important and memorable part in your lives and in building an excellent and growing reputation for Warsash and Solent University. Thank you very much indeed. It only remains for me to wish those graduating today every possible success in the future, to thank you all for being here to make this such a happy and memorable occasion. And for those of you in particular who've traveled long distances, and I know some of you have, please do have a safe homeward journey. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, by the authority vested in me as Chancellor of the University, I now declare this graduation ceremony closed.